Let's run our first Geo query. For that, I'll work with my places, and I want to find places that are near my current location. Now, what is my location? Now, always keep in mind that, of course, rarely will work with the shell as we do. Most of the time, you'll write an application that does what we are now doing with the shell, or then it will do that with its driver, of course. So therefore, you might have a web application where users can locate themselves. You can do that through some web APIs, or you have a mobile app where users can locate themselves. Such location APIs will always return coordinates in the form of latitude and longitude. This is the standard format. So your application will give you some latitude and longitude data for whatever your user did. For example, locate himself. Now let's fake that part. So let's simply click somewhere, here for example, and now I marked a place where we also see the coordinates. If I click on that, I can also copy them from there. Again, the second coordinate is the longitude, first one is the latitude. So this is the location we assume we're getting from our app. So how can we now use that location to find out if this place here is near our location? And what does near define? Well, let's see that step by step. In find, I definitely want to have a look at my location key, and if you named it differently, you need to name it differently here. This is not a reserved keyword. This is simply referring to our key here. And then here, the value is a document where I use $near. $near is one of the operators provided by MongoDB for working with geospatial data. $near requires another document as a value, and there you can now define a geometry for which you want to check if it's near. So $geometry. That again is a document, and this now again describes a GeoJSON object. So we could check here if a point we add here is close to our point, and that's exactly what I'll do. So since we have to pass in some GeoJSON here, I'll again add a type, and that type will also be a point. We'll work with different types later, by the way. And I will pass my coordinates. And just as before, because this has to be GeoJSON, we have to have a type here, which is one of the valid types, and we have to have coordinates here. And you therefore, of course, also know which format coordinates should be in. Correct, it should be an array where the first value is the longitude, second value is the latitude. So let's paste in that longitude we grabbed from Google Maps, and let's then also grab the latitude, and let's paste this as a second value. Now if I hit enter, I get an error, and the error is telling me that it's unable to find an index for the GeoNear query. And GeoNear is simply the behind-the-scenes name of our near query. So for this, we will need a geospatial index for this query to run. Not all geospatial queries require an index, but they all, just as with other indexes, will most likely benefit from having such an index. So let's add a geospatial index in the next lecture.